Welcome to the GenX Pole Arts podcast, Fit, Fierce, and Fearless. I am Zen, also known as Nancy Adzentovich, the founder of GenX Pole Arts. I am happy to be launching this podcast where we are going to be celebrating the strength, resilience, and potential of women over 40 in the vibrant world of pole dance. I'm excited to embark on this empowering journey with you guys. And each week, we will connect with inspiring women who are redefining what it means to thrive in their 40s and beyond. From incredible stories of personal transformation to tips on building strength and confidence, we'll explore the boundless possibilities that pole dancing offers for self-expression and empowerment. Whether you're a seasoned dancer or just curious about the journey, there's a place for you here. So grab a cup of coffee, a sparkling water, whatever turns you on, and get comfortable. Let's celebrate the incredible power of women who are embracing their passions and pushing boundaries at every age. And don't forget to subscribe and join our community on social media and sign up for the 15-day pole dance challenge if you haven't done so already. All right, now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to episode 12 of Fit, Fierce, and Fearless. I am Zen. Thank you for being here. As always, I appreciate you guys when you listen and subscribe and comment, please. I love the comments. Today, I have a special guest, my pole bestie, Mimi. And she literally moved heaven and earth to be here today, like flying through the air, sleeping in airports,
Yes,
driving down the 405 early in the morning to be here.
specifically.
So thank you. So, Mimi, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melinda, also known as Mimi. I am a 45-year-old amazing flight attendant that transcends time and space through day by day. I'm a pole enthusiast, and I'm so happy to be here speaking with my pole bestie on something that we love dearly.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you're tired and you have lots of other things to do when we finish. So, thank you. Um,
Mhm.
so I thought it would be interesting. I love talking with all of my guests kind of about how they started their pole journey and
Yeah.
what was your first experience? Were you in a studio? Were you at home? How did you fall into this thing that we love?
So my first, how I fell into polling was actually right after the pandemic and all the exhaustion from being inside and being immobile, not doing anything and having this desire. All I did was listen to music, and that's just my passion is moving through my body. I love to dance, and we spent months and months inside the home with like DJs from around the world playing music. And I was like, I need to move my body again. So once we started to come back out into the world again, I was like, I need to find a studio. With all the mandates and testing requirements, nothing was really open to me. However, I would drive by and see our beloved pole studio, and I was like, maybe I should do this. And I checked, and they were open. And I jumped off from there. I was about 42 years old. I was bored, and I needed movement, and I needed a change. And that was just a small part of that journey. And I joined, and it's been history.
I love it. And that's how we met at the same time. We kind of got there the same way after COVID, being stuck at home, being bored. We both were at the time living in the same kind of neighborhood near the studio, so we would drive by and see it. And if you've listened to this podcast before, yes, we are talking about the secret pole dance studio. I think it comes up on every episode almost. So, I always say a disclaimer, like, I'm not here representing Secret, and it's not meant to be a podcast about the Secret Pole Dance Studio, although, so many of us got our start there. So it always comes up and we love it.
Yeah.
Um, I know that you are a big fan of music and just dancing in the club even. And
Yeah.
this is the first time I think anybody has mentioned the music as being part of the driving factor
hmm
for their
Yeah.
exploration of pole. So I would
Yeah.
love to talk about that a little bit more. For me, music is a huge part of it as well. I have always been involved in music and the music industry and married to a musician, and my kids are musicians now. So, similarly to you, I grew up on the East Coast and we would go into New York and like go to the clubs and dance until they would close at 4 a.m. because I lived in the suburbs. We would drive over the county line or whatever because the clubs would stay open later, and underage clubs and just dancing. And so as an adult, I really missed that. And I think during COVID, I also did the same thing. Like I would just listen to music, probably for the first time in my adult life, where I would just like lay in my room for hours and listen to music because we didn't have to go anywhere. We didn't have to do anything. So we had that luxury of just being able to enjoy music again. I
Yeah.
discovered new bands and DJs and whatnot. So yeah, let's talk about the music side of it because I love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ever since I can remember, I've just come from a family of like avid music listeners and dancers, and it's just in my blood, it's in my culture. So for me, as I got older and frequented less and less clubs and bars, and then COVID, I just feel this like desire. I felt it. It was strong. It's in my bones. And it still happens to this day. If I don't have movement, I don't feel well, like that's my outlet. That's the way that I express myself. And pole just gave me such a different expression through music, which was amazing, which opened up so many more doors for me as a woman, as a mother. And it was just really interesting. And yeah, music for me is important. And it's even to the point where when I dance or if I go to a studio, I need to connect with the music. If I don't connect with the music, then I'm in that same headspace, like I need to feel that vibe from head to toe. So yeah, music is key for me. It's a driving force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite genre to listen to in the studio? Is it the same
To be,
thing as you would wanna hear when you're in a club or in the car? Or do you have
no,
something different?
I think when I move with my body in a pole studio, I love to express through slow movement, through
Mm,
to show a different side of the version of my dancing self in the club or at a party. I want to show something different, so I choose more sensual songs or more dark music, to kind of bridge that movement in my body, that isn't allowed. I can't necessarily do anymore in public
yeah,
at this age. So yeah, I really, really enjoy some slinky, slow, sexy music, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I love that. Something else that has come up on a few of the past episodes too is Mount Olympus, which you also were a part of Mount Olympus, and
Yes.
that was your first and was it your only performing experience? It
It
was
was
like
my
pulling teeth to get Mimi to agree to Mount Olympus. She was like,
yeah.
"Girl."
I am the Houdini of polling. I'm like, I'm here and now I'm not. But yeah, it was a lot. I had a lot of transitioning and everything that happened after that experience, and I hope and injuries, and the
Yeah.
whole lot. So I hope to perhaps explore a little bit more of performing
Say it,
in the
say it. I'm gonna hold you
yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm holding
But
you to it. Mimi is a beautiful dancer, and I think that her love of the music actually can be seen in the way that she moves. So, of course, like always, I will put her Instagram handle in the show notes.
My poll page is Mimi go up and down.
All right, we'll put that one in there. So if anybody wants to
Yeah.
see. Um, but yeah, I think that it's a really fun expression. And I remember some of my fondest memories in the studio were of you during Tamia's classes during the day, during COVID. And we walk in and it's dark in there with all these bright lights, and there would be some music on, and we would just kind of be, I don't want to say we were goofing around, but kind of just like goofy
Yeah.
dancing, like in
I,
between the choreo.
yeah, it was like to like, dance breaks. It was like getting out those jitters, loosening up and enjoying, which is something that we just don't get to do as we get older, as we become more responsible as parents and as partners. It was a moment to just be. It's like almost like going onto the schoolyard and like being with your friends at recess and just, goofing off. It's okay to say goofing off, I think. I think it was amazing. We had
Yeah.
so many good times and have it all on cam, so that's good. Yeah,
We do. We record everything. I
good.
just don't want Tamia to hear us saying that we were goofing off in her class.
Yeah, no,
But yeah, I love that you said it's like going out to the play yard, because I've said that before too. I feel like it's an opportunity as an adult to play.
yeah,
In a, like we get to roll around on the floor. We get to do like forward rolls, backward rolls, handstands, headstands, like climb up and down a pole and just act like a
yeah,
kid kind of, but a
Eat-
sexy kid.
yeah, yeah,
It's like bringing together all these different components of like who we are, and you get to leave the other ones, like the mom, the partner, like we can leave those outside and
yeah,
just
absolutely.
be who we are at our core without those labels of who we are to other people.
Yeah, correct. It's
And
great.
Mimi is
It's
a
such
mom, by the way. Mimi is a
yes.
mom to a beautiful girl, little girl.
Yeah. And a
Everybody knows
large
I'm a boy mom, so I appreciate the girls. What did
we
you
have a
say?
and a larger old boy.
Oh, of course, and a larger, older boy. Yeah. Well, I feel like, of course, you never stop being a parent, but
Mhm.
that one is kind of responsible for himself at this point. The little one
Correct.
you still have to deal with on the daily. So that definitely, as you're trying to explore who you are as a woman, in your 40s, like, and you have to be a mom, so that's part of it, a mom to a young person who requires your attention and your energy on a daily basis. So you have to adapt your energy and your personality to
Yeah.
that role as well. So, and I spoke about this on the episode with Dee, like coming to learn more about who you are authentically in the pole studio, where you just have that opportunity to leave like all your other responsibilities on the other side of the door and all of those other roles that you play or masks that you wear, however you want to talk about it. And you get to just be you, like however you're feeling, silly, sexy, slinky, aggressive, like whatever it is at that moment with the music
Yeah.
and the lights. When you leave there, it allows you to be more present and more yourself in the parenting situation or the partner situation or at work.
Yeah.
It really makes you feel more connected to who you are, where it's easy as we get older and we are a mom and a partner and we have jobs and bosses, like you kind of lose touch with that part of, or I did lose touch with that part of yourself who's
Right.
just autonomous, you know? It's like,
Correct.
oh, I
Yeah.
exist. Even if I didn't have kids or a husband or a boss, who would I be?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, that person, there is me in here still. And I feel like
Right.
that when we go into the studio, we have the opportunity to be that person.
Yeah. And it's like up to you how you channel that, right? In your day-to-day life outside of the studio, because I think for some it's like you kind of hold back. A lot of us didn't understand. We couldn't connect to that person that we
Right.
became, that persona or whatever. And sometimes you would leave the studio and you would like end scene, you know what I'm saying? And you would just
Mm,
go on and become the same person. But for many of us, it allowed us to really nurture who we truly were and really
mhm.
see and guide us into like better parts of our lives, you know, and
Yeah.
make us stronger, make us connect better with other people, or, you know, really find out things that you've been hiding in deep down inside. It's a really
Mhm.
amazing experience. And that's what dance does, period, I think. And I think that people don't really understand that. Like how music and how movement in the body really, really make you express your true self. I think
Yes.
it's taken for granted, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
good.
we're not encouraged to do that, right? Like we're encouraged to sit down in front of the TV or our phone
Yeah.
or the computer to do work. We're not encouraged to move and like become acquainted with our physical self. We're always like in our head or in the screen.
Right.
And it's like, and doing things for other people, right? You work in a service industry too. So you're also doing things for your clients and
Right.
the people on your flight. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, we just aren't encouraged, especially as women. Like, I feel like men are encouraged throughout their lives always to be more physical and more in
Yeah.
tune with their physical body, right? That's part of the
Hmm.
masculine trope or whatever.
Yeah.
But women, we're conditioned to like present ourselves in a way that's appealing to men, but
Yeah.
that doesn't have anything to do with how we actually feel about our bodies or how we feel in our bodies. We're
Right.
not
Right.
ever encouraged to explore that. And I don't know, for me, once I got to be a certain age, and I think all of that introspection during COVID, where we were just stuck inside and you had to think about things and like, I don't know, it made me realize that like I don't necessarily even feel comfortable in my body or know what it like I wasn't in my body. I wasn't didn't feel embodied or present
Right.
with myself until and I've always, been a runner and a swimmer and an athlete, but even doing sports, it wasn't necessarily connecting in the same way with my physical body. That was more about like, well, how fast can I run? Can I
Right.
complete
Correct.
this 5K and do a PR? Not like, how am I feeling? I'm like, oh, this sucks. I hate running. I don't want to do it. But then it would be like, no, well, you have to do it. You have to compete and you have to do this thing. Whereas dancing, it's like it feels good to be in my body when I'm moving it. And the music is like, I feel like the music fills me up and then my body just needs to move.
Yeah.
And that's a completely different kind of embodiment. And
Yeah.
yeah, then when you leave the studio and you might not change entirely who you are, but you feel different. You stand different. You're going to be different in a conversation with somebody than you might have been before. And over time, I think it builds up and it
Yeah.
really does influence who you are and how you show up.
It does. It did for me in so many ways. And
Right.
it's,
I mean,
yes.
I don't know if you want to talk about all the changes in your life since you started pole. And I'm not saying that pole, was the influencing factor in all your changes, but you're quite different now in a lot of ways than when we met. Your life is
Yeah.
different, looks different now
Yeah.
than
My
when we
life is,
met.
yeah. I mean, I think it was a culmination of, the pandemic, the new experiences, the lack of experiences, the everything that kind of snowballed in that time. You're just like, all right, it was like a moment of truth that led on for 2 years, 3 years. And it gave me such a boost in confidence and um, in my ability to just do anything in my life, whether it came to my
Mm,
career, my partnerships, my love life, with my family, with my friends. Like I have shifted tremendously, and I owe a lot of it to the exploration that I had in those classes. I'm like, had it not been for that, I may have been still, living in fear, living scared mentally,
mhm,
living, with this like thought of like, can I do something? Can I not do something? And I got to experience all that by going to class and dancing with, amongst other women, my age, that really propelled me forward and like pushed me to do things and open up to them and open up to myself, so
Yeah.
I'm super grateful for those experiences, and I'm
Yeah.
happy, you know yeah.
That's beautiful. It's great to see you so happy
Yeah.
also. Like we've all been through um ups and downs together. Like the
Yeah.
community that we have is so important and critical to me. Like the pole community that I discovered back then and during COVID has changed my whole life to the point where I started this, right? GenX Pole Arts. And this is now what I do. And I teach. And, my circle of friends is the pole community and the pole adjacent community. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. You all have brought so much richness to my life, and we continue to do new things together and support one another through change and encourage each other to try things in the pole studio and outside of the pole studio, you know?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I'm so happy and grateful to have that.
Me too. Extremely. Super.
So I
But
want to
one
know
thing,
more about when you're going to perform. We're going to do Olympus again this
you know,
year.
I have actually, so I have been on hiatus with the pole due to injury. And, I had an injury in shoulder, not through
Mm,
anything from polling, but more so culmination of the job that I do and, my extracurriculars like exercise and polling. And I had to take a break. But I plan on going back to full time polling activities, come this summer, since I'll
yay.
be back at our home studio and I'll be able to once again join in the festivities and all the fun and definitely take on a challenge by performing, um, which is probably my ultimate test, is stepping out over that line of, you know,
Yep.
nervousness and doing it. That's my ultimate test. It's like I know I'm capable. I know I can do things, but it's just my comfort level. And I think once I get back into the community, which I've been a part from, I guess, the last 2 years, um, I think I'll regain my confidence in that and definitely do a little performance, maybe with you. How about that?
Yeah, do it with me. I love it. Maybe you'll be in the studio showcase, the next one. Mm.
Okay.
Um, yeah, just putting that out there, little bug in your
we shall
ear.
we shall see. Yeah. Famous
Um,
words.
yeah, well, now it's recorded, so
Yeah. Great.
it's documented. Um, how about so as a mom of a girl, having a daughter, what does pull mean in your relationship with your daughter? Because I know you have a
Um.
pole at home.
Yeah, I do. Do and she is very well acquainted with the pole and interested in the pole, and I let her express herself. It's very interesting growing up in a time where, as a young girl, you were told not to do things that may have alluded or looked like something, remotely sexual,
Mm,
anything. And here I am with this little, well, I mean, she was 4 or 3 at the time, and now she's 7, just turned 7, and she's seen it and she grabs it. She's like, "I'm gonna swing," and without me even showing her, she has such natural movement that she expresses, and it's almost like she's been watching me, but she hasn't, to be
yeah.
honest. I've
Mhm.
done any like choreo where it was like I'm doing this fluid movement, and here I watch her, and she's very dramatic with it, and I, I think it's amazing, and I just want her to, you know, um, feel like she can do whatever she wants. Like I will
Yes.
the stigma on her. She will never understand, like the feelings of other people when it comes to the pole community. Like this is going to be her exploration, and she'll learn and she'll grow. But I think she might be coming with me in the next couple of years, to a studio near you, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, but I like it. Like I said, I have no problem with movement and dance, and I've also taught her that since she was born. We move, we
Mhm.
we move to music, we express ourselves, and she's extremely expressive. So much that I feel like I need to take notes from her because I don't have that. Wow, where did you get that from? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, she's just moving from such a liberated place. Like she's free, she's unencumbered, right? Because you have
right.
raised her in such a way that she hasn't been told that it's not okay.
Yeah,
So
correct.
she's just moving however it feels good, however she
Yeah,
wants.
sure. Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
gift you've given her,
I hope so. Yeah,
truly.
yeah.
Yeah, she's lucky to have you as a mama.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm lucky to have her as my child.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's a pretty cool one.
Think so. Yeah, so we'll see what she has to offer in the next couple of years. But I'm getting her into like I've been doing strength training and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that all of that can be combined, and she should find a love for it. This is a sport now.
Yep,
For many. So if this is something that she takes an interest in, I'm her number one supporter. You know. So we'll see.
that's amazing. So, what else do you do besides what did you say? You lift weights and strength train?
Yeah, I've just taken that back on after many years off. I do lifting 2 to 3 times a week. I am a Pilates, well, actually a Legree enthusiast. So
Mhm.
I just love to move my body. I don't know what it is, but like as I get older and older, the desire, the want to move and keep myself limber and flexible is very big. Like I've seen you do your flexibility courses, and I'm amazed. And I
Yeah.
really like, okay, this is my next step because also with my injuries, I've kind of slacked on my stretching and just my movement in my body, and I see a change. Weightlifting is one thing, but I'm really, really interested in joining you on that journey because it looks amazing and I need to get back
Yeah.
into my old ways, my old habits. But such is life. You stop, you just start
Yeah.
again, you know?
That's the thing, right? So it's never over and it's never too late to start or start again. You just keep going and just acknowledge that it ebbs and flows. We are adults, women, mothers, responsibilities, jobs, everything else. So we do what we can do. And it's hard sometimes to not get down on yourself when you have to take a break because you're injured or because life gets busy or whatever. But I think that's where our friendships and our community becomes even more important because we remind one another like it's okay, you're going to come back. Like
Correct.
yeah, I haven't seen you in a studio in probably over 6 months, but that doesn't mean that I don't expect to be in a studio with you again, right? And I'm going to keep
Yeah.
reminding you of that. So hopefully you feel like you're still on that path. And you
Yeah.
guys have done the same for me. And the flexibility thing, Mimi, when I tell you that my back and shoulders and neck are more, my range of motion and my mobility is greater than it probably has been in, I don't know, a decade. Just after
Well,
a few weeks of really working on it with a really skilled and qualified coach.
right.
And mobility as I get older is probably the most important thing because I do not, as I age, want to lose my ability to get in and out of a chair or in and out of the
Right.
car or up and down from a toilet seat. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of
Right.
stuff your knees, your hips, your shoulders, everything starts to, if you don't use it, it starts to stiffen up and, it doesn't want to move and it hurts. And I
Right.
just, we have to work at it because our lifestyle in this country is where we're sitting like this at a computer most of the
Yeah.
time or in a car. We're sitting. We don't have a lifestyle or a culture where we walk all the time and move all the time. Like we're
Right.
not in Europe or, where people are walking,
Yeah.
you
Correct.
know?
Yeah,
So
I'm
we have
definitely
to,
that. I want to join you on that, and surprise, surprise, but I'll be back in the neighborhood, so I'm just like looking forward to it. It's really interesting. Like, yeah, we need that flexibility. We want to shift. I've been dabbling in this past year with like weight gain, intentional weight gain and muscle gain, and
mhm,
seeing where I feel comfortable at this stage in life, which also presents a lot of challenges because I'm not as light as I was when I was polling. So now I have to get stronger in order to carry this weight that I've gained or this
yeah,
muscle. So I'm here to channel and take any opportunity to help my body figure it out and like how to adjust, whether it's flexibility, whether it's, gaining more muscle, or you even losing the weight that I packed on this year, which I'm kind of happy with, but definitely see changes and challenges. But that's just life. And I think it's great. And I find like, we don't have to fit the form of, this one idealistic human body.
mhm,
And that's what I'm enjoying on this process. Like as I get older, it's like, wow, do I want to be more muscular? Do I want to be more flexible? Do I want to be stronger? Do I want to be thinner in the sense, lighter, not even thinner, just lighter,
mhm,
to be able to function the way that I feel comfortable, like that I want in life, with fitness, with work, and with just like the overall comfort in my own body, you know? So
yeah.
yeah, I keep it interesting, that's for sure.
Well, I think it's great that you have a mindset where you're willing to explore all of those different iterations of what your body looks like, feels like, etc., and that that you have the power to change it. So
Right.
many people or women, probably men too, but so many women as they get older, in my experience of
Yeah.
the people around me, um, just think they're kind of stuck. Like, oh, well, now I'm 50 and I've been through menopause and this is the body I got. Like, it's like, well, no, it depends what you put in your mouth. It depends how active you are. It depends what you choose to do, right? It's like you're still driving the ship here. You got
Correct.
some options. Don't give up. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm 50 now, or I'm 60 now, or I'm 40 now, or whatever. Like, it is what it is. It's like, why are you done living? Like,
Right. No, I think, yeah, there's that fear, that inability to connect, and they have to find outlets, and there's a serious need to connect and find those ways that you can channel. But people are really quick to give up. Us as women, we're tired.
yes,
We're
girl,
tired. We do
always
a lot.
tired.
And it takes a big push, to do the things that we do, to get up and take 2 hours of dance class, or to go to strength training class, or to go to flexibility class at this age. It's tiring,
Yeah,
but not everybody has that mindset. But it all it takes is a chance, all it takes is a try. And now my
yeah,
favorite saying is like, nothing beats a failure but a try. You
I
keep
love
you keep
that.
failing, and but every time you try, it's a step closer to succeeding in something, you know
Yes,
and we do it
I
every
love
day,
that. And I
trying.
don't mean to like judge anybody or shame anybody when I say this or say what I said, but it's because this is how, again, our society like pushes us to believe that and pushes us in that direction. And really, what my goal is with all of these podcast episodes and the whole Gen X platform is like to just let women know it doesn't have to be that way. You don't need anybody's permission to go to a class. I know when my husband was alive, right? If I was doing a lot of the things I'm doing now, he'd be questioning, like, why do you need to go do back bending for? It's like,
Right.
well, because my back is stiff and it doesn't feel great. And I can't lift my arms straight over my head. And I just want to be able to do that. Right. But I
Correct.
think having the support of the people around you is really important. And so many women don't have that, even in their friend groups, right? Like other women would say the same thing. Why would you want to go to a pole class or why are you going to a dance class? You're not a dancer. It's like,
I'm tired. I have work. I
yeah,
have the Yeah, we all have that. And I just implore women, like, go take that chance, take the class, do something, get yourself moving, and it will shift you in such a way, like, especially in our demographic, it's like, like, oh, I can't believe you're 45 or you're 50, and believe it, because this could be
yeah,
you as well.
yeah.
Just a move, you know?
People say it to me all the time. Like, how are you 55? I'm like, I I don't I mean, I just live the way that I live. I don't have like great genetics. There's heart disease
How
and diabetes in my family. There's everything,
Same.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
choices. It's just
That's
choices.
yeah. It's just crazy. Like, we have this mindset, like, once you hit an age, you gotta stop. No. Like, keep pushing, keep
I
going.
don't want to stop. I'm more afraid of stopping. Like maybe that like I have the opposite problem, right? It's still probably a problem. I need to be more in the
Same.
middle.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get injured and I keep working out. And I tell people too, like when I coach somebody, and my biggest goal is to make sure that they avoid injury. And then if you're injured, to take care of your body and listen to your body and don't push yourself. Whereas when I'm coaching myself, I don't follow my own advice,
Correct.
which is a problem
Yeah.
that I
Yeah, we definitely
acknowledge.
are on each other, on ourselves. I mean, I haven't practiced in this past year. It's been far and few in between, and I really was hard on myself. Meanwhile, I'm
Mhm.
taking Legree classes, or I'm riding my bike, 14 to 20 miles every other day.
Yeah.
I'm I'm active, but, like, it's like, oh, my routine of not polling, it really gets you. But yeah, even that, you have to allow yourself grace, so
Yeah.
not to do too much, and bully your own self into believing that you have to do it all. You don't, but you also can do stuff,
Yeah,
so
just do
yeah.
anything. And that's the other thing I say. Like, I just want to encourage people to just get up and try something. You don't have to do a Gen X Pole Arts class. You don't even have to do pole. I don't care. Like, go to the
Right.
senior center and do a Zumba class. Go to the YMCA. Like, everybody here
Yeah.
knows I work out at the YMCA. They have HIIT classes, they have dance classes, they have Zumba classes, they have gentle yoga classes. Just do something because, like you said, Mimi, you're going to feel a shift once you
Yeah.
start doing something physical in your body that's just for you, not for your family, not for your boss, not for, whoever, like you're going to feel different. It's going to impact you in ways you can't envision.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Mhm. Yeah. So just get up and do something.
Just do it.
Just do it. All right.
But then
I've taken up quite a bit of your time. I know you've got things to do. We've kind of reached our end, but thank you so much, my friend. I love talking with you. It's so good to see you. I hope you are able to get some rest today after your crazy,
yes.
hectic past 36 hours or so traveling. But thank you for
Yes.
being here. I look forward to seeing you in the studio. And I look forward to performing with you or cheering you on as you perform in the
Yeah.
months that are coming up.
Yeah,
We'll
to
check in on that.
all my pole sisters in secret, I'll see you summer 2025. I'm back.
Yay, she's back, y'all. Let's
Yay.
go. Okay, bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, powered by GenX Pole Arts. I hope you feel inspired by the incredible stories of strength and resilience that we shared today. Remember, it's never too late to embrace your potential and unleash your passion. If you enjoyed this episode, please, I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave me a review. Your support really helps me to continue to uplift and empower women over 40 in our pole dance community and beyond. Don't forget to connect with me on social media for more inspiration and updates. I'd love to hear your stories and share in your journey. So until next time, keep dancing, keep shining, and remember that your strength knows no age.